Thank you, Amani. It's always a pleasure to receive any kind of recognition, but this award really is the icing on the cake for myself and the IR team as a whole. And it is great for us to hear that and feel that the financial community is appreciating the work we are doing, is appreciated, and it is a confirmation that the team is doing a great job. The senior management has appreciated the award too, as they are aware of the depth and of participation from the sell side and buy side that make up the people that voted for us. It is in fact the second year in a row that we have won top awards with the institutional investors, and really I hope that it will be the first start of a long series of wins. I'll start by stating the obvious. The most important characteristic of being an effective IRO is having answers to people's questions. Without the knowledge, the network, the experience and information to provide answers, you are nothing. For analysts and investors, you should be a reliable, accessible and trusted source of information to make informed investment decisions or recommendations. And this is so important because the questions you get asked in this job are many and varied, strategic, financial, operational. If you're not able to build a long-term, trusted relationship with your internal and external stakeholders, you cannot do this job. You need to be seen as someone who can represent the company on the market to investors, who otherwise deal with the CEOs and CFOs. And this is not easy, but it is a key characteristic of the most successful IROs. You first need to have built the credibility and the relationships to act in that capacity. And in a company like Poste Italiane, with 4 businesses in one and 120,000 employees, knowing who can help you build your knowledge or find the right information and convincing them to help you is vital. There are hierarchical and functional relationships, and you need to interact with them and make sure that they understand your role. It's important that you have a good idea of what investors are thinking and what hot topics issues are, and you must be proactive. Build constructive relationships throughout the shareholder base. First of all, about digitalization, it has fully arrived in investor relations and it is there to stay. As our headquarters are in Rome, which is not the financial hub of the country, we have always enjoyed a full state-of-the-art ICT platform, and we have always leveraged on our capabilities to increase the effectiveness of our investor reach. Of course, the pandemic has accelerated this process, and also big data and artificial intelligence are influencing our activity. And of course, we use the big data providers to understand which are the buzzwords and the trends set out by our peers, and we act consequently. Big data and AI will be the main factors influencing future investor relations, as companies want to know more about investors, I think. So, in this way, we can manage information on a large scale, target our work in a more effective way too. We understand that the relevance of algorithms also to search information that mention stock tickers is key. We are referring to buzzwords like success, beat earnings, improved forecasts, ESG, so on and so forth. The algorithm can influence the decision to buy or sell, also from a behavioral point of view. So still, I believe that the human touch remains the most important touch in the relation to investors and analysts. Technology can help, but then eventually, as a last mile, to use a postal term by the way, the human touch makes the difference, at least in the active investment decision. The finance world is great at finding new acronyms. Two that are bubbling up more frequently are ESG investing and SRI. Often they are used interchangeably, but with terms like sustainable, social, impact, responsible, principal investing. They all refer obviously to the same thing, the rise of conscience-based management of a company. This is the point probably. And the pandemic has increased the awareness of our sustainability, the awareness, if you want, of what we are. I mean, we are a 160-year-old company, and if we were not sustainable, we wouldn't be here. We are sustainable by our own DNA, I would say. And the point is to be aware that this also needs to be communicated to investors and analysts within a structured framework of information. This is something on which we are working constantly. And the pandemic has made this more evident. It is made very clear that we have a strategic role for the country and that ESG principles are leading in our daily job. Beyond our postal business, for example, we are not a company which pollutes to run its ordinary business, but we are a company where pursuing a financial strategy is fully in line with the ESG principles. What I mean is that there is a full alignment of ESG and financial objectives. For example, when we pursue the digitalization of our country from a payment perspective, of course this is a noble cause. But it is also at the same time representing for us a business opportunity, as we are the first prepaid card issuer for the country, and we are going to benefit from card and then digital payments. Secondly, when we decided to support the country in vaccine delivery, we supported the Italian health system also with an IT platform to book the vaccine jabs, and not only to deliver them. Of course, we supported the country and we continue to do so, but in this case, we have this situation, but this has allowed us to become aware that we have logistic capabilities in the health sector and that our IT capabilities go beyond our current business model. It can support our future business model. This is the heart of sustainability. We are now leveraging on these capabilities, and we have acquired a health logistics company to accelerate this journey. And we have also created a sustainable value for our shareholders. So it is not just a matter of environment, it is not just a matter of social, it is not just a matter of governance. It is a matter of having these principles in our daily activities for the benefit of all our stakeholders, be they employees, communities, or shareholders. We have the privilege to be able not to have conflict between our economic and social objectives in this sense. Our job is to follow the evolution of Italians in their daily needs from a financial, payment, insurance and mail and parcel delivery services. And we do this in our daily life. We have done so for over the past 160 years, and we will do it over the next 160 years. And as we say in our 2021 financial report, Poste Italiane is rooted in our country, building the future. I ended up doing this job by chance more than 15 years ago. I was a bit lost from a professional point of view because I had a varied background, if you want, but I had part of a background as an accountant. I had some experience in economic research and teaching, with a strong focus on statistics, and I also had a financial background working for a major Italian bank. I was talking with a friend working in IR, and I was sharing my view to look for a good job where I could have the opportunity to run analysis on the one hand, but also a job that could go beyond pure analysis and provide me with the big picture. I knew nothing about investor relations, but she wanted me on board. I trusted her and I followed her, starting back from scratch basically. So I stepped back to a more junior role in IR, and I started to study those corporate finance and planning topics which are relevant to this job. eventually I found out that this is a perfect job for me, I think, where I can have, on the one hand, a good in-depth knowledge from an analytical point of view, but also I'm not segregated to that analytical side, because in this job you need to start from the number and put all the pieces of the puzzle together to tell a story. So it's a privileged role where you can also have a general view of the company, and you only have two profiles with such a comprehensive knowledge within a company. One is the CEO and the other one is the IR. So I love this. For me, it's perfect. The new IR role needs to shift from simply explaining the corporate strategy and practices to laying out why the strategy is best positioned to unlock shareholder value. Therefore, we need to attract and engage in the long-term investors. In other words, we must add more value. So in this sense, I think that in the future, our role is shifting away from one where we just tell a story or keep track of what investors are saying, and the role must become more of an intelligence agent and proactively cultivate investors and try to get them on board. Another evolution is, I think, related to ESG, because this is not a fashion. This is a structural trend, and companies who are able to internalize these activities within their daily job will make the difference. Additionally, in a world where AI is also driving investment decisions, the ability to blend soft and hard skills will be key, because if financial figures are easy to be collected from an automatic point of view, the ability to support investors in finding alpha will be the real challenge. Finally, I think that the most important structural trend you have seen over the past years is a shift from a pure communication officer to a more strategic agent. So I also see IR becoming internally as the function that internalizes the strategy department, because this role will not only be an inside to outside flow manager, but we will also manage the feedback flow from the investor community to the company in order for the company to shape the strategy, also considering investors' view. I am from a very rural area of inner Sicily and would love for a part of my time to be able to return to that reality and be self-sufficient by growing my own produce from the seed to the table, enjoying the changing view of my countryside over the 4 seasons, where I am from, you can enjoy a wide, windy and sunny valleys. So brown is the color of my land in autumn, then it fades in towards green over the winter, till an explosion of light and color in spring, and you can hear the noise of birds migrating southwards. And by the way, pay attention, because they love your produce, they can eat it. And as the weather gets warmer, the fields become golden and humans are relegated to a marginal part of the world. So in this environment, I could live in a simple way. I love this. I could look after my animals, enjoying a simple country life, which is away from the hustle and bustle of big cities. I think that I might love this for a part of my life, of part of my year. For the rest, still, I do love a lot enjoying what big cities can offer from a social point of view. So, if you want, this is two opposite lifestyles in one. This is what I would love.